Hello everyone. Is it okay for you? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, you can write something on the chat just to say hello, say something. It's okay for you? Perfect. Okay, so you can hear me. So, hello, I'm Agathe. I work for Join School in France and for Fashion, Engineering and Management Schools in France. Today, I'm here with a representative from Skema Business School, Pierre Avaux. So, hello, Pierre.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pierre Avaux, so I'm responsible for the admission in Skema Business.
Okay, thank you. So today we will discuss the introduction to Join School in France, introduction to Skema Business School, some questions for Skema, and the programs, the requirements, all the process to join a school in France in 3 steps, and the benefits to join a master's in France. And of course, you will be able to ask all your questions on the chat. It's in live, and so don't hesitate to ask your question. So, but before we start, I would just like to say a few words about Join School in France, which allows international students to apply in French top-ranked schools through one easy online application. But now I will let Pierre introduce himself and tell you about Skema Business School.
So hello again, everybody. So I'm, yes, as I said, I am responsible for the admission in Skema Business School. As you can know, we are, I don't know if you check the ranking, but we are part of the Join School in France for the top business school. And our particularity is also to have 6 campuses, 3 in France, and we have 1 in Brazil, 1 in China, and 1 in USA. And if you apply to the Master in Management in Skema, you have the opportunity to go to these campuses and to get also experience outside of France.
Okay. So thank you, Pierre. And what does the term grande école mean?
So the programme grande école, it's let's say it's it's really something very, let's say, French. It's a master in management, and this is, let's say, the top program from every business school in France. The one which are recognized as a master two by the government. And if you want afterwards to continue your studies on PhD or something, it will allow you to do it.
And what are the specificities of your master's in management at Skema Business School? Because it's a really important question for our students today.
As I said, our main difference is to be like global business school. We are very aware that the world is very much changing with all the digitalization, and everything is changing very fast. And also the professor in Skema Business School are all the time in connection with the general manager of the companies to understand what are their needs and to teach to the students the knowledge that they need to enter into these companies. And what are the specificities? As I said in the introduction, we have also we were one of the first one to do this with international campuses. So you can go to Paris, to Lille, and to Sophia Antipolis. So north of France for Lille, Paris, and Sophia Antipolis in the south of France, next to Nice, Cannes, for the one who knows it, on the French Riviera. And you have also the opportunity to go to USA, to go to Brazil, and to go to China. And in the master in management, you have the possibility to do it. And even on some specialization, you can also get double diploma, especially with the US. And what are, let's say, these are the main specificities of our master in management. And you can check also that worldwide, We are ranked 25th of the best master in management by the Financial Times. And in France, depending on the, I would say, on the magazine which is rating us, it's from 5 to 7. So these are the main specificities of our master.
Ranking are really important for the
Yes.
students, and it's great to remember this. And why come to France to do a master in management at Skema Business School?
But it's to get, let's say, to get like French education is very highly recognized around the world. So to choose France, it's a very clever choice.
Yes, of course. And so another one, what are the career opportunities after a master in management at Skema Business School?
It would be very difficult to be, I would say, synthetic, because you have inside the master in management, you have something like 25th specialization, either in finance, in marketing, business and strategy and management. And according to the specialization that you choose inside the master in management, you have completely different career opportunity. But for the career opportunity, let's say you have access to it's called the career center. It's on every campus, and you can contact them for some coaching to find a job. You have the alumni and the partner companies which are sending job offers and also internship offers, and it's only dedicated to the Schema students. And also for your career, we are organizing, let's say this year it was on the Paris campus. More than 160 companies came to the Paris campus only to recruit some Schema students. So it was the recruiter from these top companies, and we have some pretty highly say, after diplomation. Most of the students at 6 months they have already a job.
And also you have an internship within
Yes.
the master, and
Yes.
it can be an opportunity after to find a job after the
Yes,
master.
it's even mandatory. You can do also a gap year if you want on the first year, and on the second year for the one who speak French, you can also do some alternance, so that the companies is taking you for almost 1 year, and they're also taking care of the tuition fees. So it can be interesting for the ones which are speaking French, but for the others. Uh, for the others, you have yes the opportunity to do a gap year. It's a mandatory to make internship. Will help you to do this, and yes, these are the two possibilities between alternance and say full time.
And when you say we will help you to do this, it means that you have an international a network,
Yes.
a company network that can take students
Yes,
to do an internship.
exactly, yes. It's the career center, and they're organizing fair. Companies, alumni, they are sending job offers, internship offers, and it's a space dedicated only to Schema students, and only the offers are dedicated to Schema students.
Okay. So thank you so much, Pierre. Maybe
You're
you have
welcome.
something to add?
No, nothing to say. As I said, I'm waiting for the questions to answer to your questions, your queries.
Yes. So if you have questions,
yes.
you can ask. And I will continue with the technical part to do the application. And Pierre, if some students have a question, especially for you, I will send you all the questions, and you will be able to answer it. Okay?
Please write everything, ask everything that you want to know, and I will answer to your question.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Pierre, for your participation.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So Now we are on the technical part about the application. So all the requirements, I think it's okay for you. You will be able, you're still be able to listen to me, to hear me. Sorry, it's okay. Perfect. So the requirements to join a school in France is to speak English. It's mandatory, but French is not mandatory. It's not because you will go to France that you have to speak French, because it's for international students and you just have to speak English. So just forget about the less than 30 years old, because there is no minimum age or no maximum age, okay? We just ask to have a bachelor degree or the equivalent in a foreign country, not in France. So your diploma has to be must be recognized in your country. It's really important. Your diploma doesn't do not be French. It must be a foreign diploma. And it's an online application, so you just have to go on joinschoolinfrance.com. You select the program that you want. So you have management, engineering, and fashion. In your case, it's management program. You will have to fill out a form with your personal data, your all the documents. Also, you have to submit all your documents. So you have questions. Are we alone on the webinar? No, we are not alone on the, you're not alone. It's just that Pierre leaves, but now you can ask all your questions, and you are a lot of students at this webinar. What about baccalaureate diploma? The bachelor degree, the diploma, the bachelor degree, is it your question? You mean bachelor? Oh. So you just have to submit all your documents and to respect the delay, because here it's written session 2, but now the session 4, the next session is session 4. Session 4, the deadline to apply is April 19. So I will write this information. Session 4 deadline is so April 9th. So you have until this date to upload all your documents, to build all your application, and your application must be complete on this date. Then, if so, just to recap the documents, you need to upload your academic transcripts, an identity card, also the diploma. So I insist on the fact that your diploma must be recognized in your country, and it must be a bachelor or a license. Also a photo. Then the written test, the English test, and the English test is not mandatory for students who studied in English. Okay, so no, I mean here in high school. No, high school. It's not possible to apply. It must be a bachelor or a license. Okay, it's the next level. And so yes, it's really important to respect the delay, because sometimes all the students are used to wait, and it's not possible for us to manage your application. It's really important to do this in advance and to upload all your documents on time, because if we have something to because we will check all your application, and if there is a document that it's not okay for us, we will tell you, can you please send us another one document, and it's really complicated to be on time in this case. So you have to anticipate this application, okay? And then so the process, when you will upload all your documents, all is complete, and then you will have to wait, and the schools, we will send your application to the schools. The schools will tell us if it's okay for you or not to be eligible to the interviews. And if it's okay for you, you will have an announcement of eligibility to do the interviews. The interviews are organized all around the world in French institutions such as French embassies, Campus France, Lycée Français, partner schools, or Chamber of Commerce. And about the interviews, it's in the city of your choice. It's also around 30 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes in English or in French. But if you choose to do the interview in French, you will be tested on your English level. It's mandatory because it's for international students and the program will be in English. The jury is composed of alumni. So alumni are former students from Skema Business School, Audencia Business School, EM Lyon Business School, HEC Paris, and ESCP Europe. And you will be tested about, you will have questions about personal skills, motivation, and general culture sometimes. And also if you are able to do a master's in management in France. Then after the interview, you will the schools, we will collect all the information about your interviews. We will send it to the schools. The schools will tell, and then the schools will tell you if it's okay or not, if you are admitted or not to the school. You can have one school, two schools, or all the schools. So you have questions? Do you have what's your kind of intro that the selection will be for the first school? No, we are the link between the schools and you, because you are international students, and you speak English. You sometimes you have it's complicated for you to upload your documents. It can be difficult for you to understand the French culture, to understand the French process, and we are here to guide you all along the process and to give you more chance to join a school in France. That's why our name is Join a School in France, because we represent 5 schools. So you don't have to apply for only one school. With Join a School in France, it's 5 schools. 5 schools, sorry. For example, I am reviewing your file. It's not all my job, but Metap and Gulver are specialized in your application. They are my colleagues, and they are here to review all your application. If you have all the documents, if the documents are conformed or not, and they will tell you, they will call you, they will send you emails to tell you, and to guide you all along the process. And then when your application is okay, we will all the team we will send this application to the 5 schools. I will check. It's a good question. When you say Quentin, I mean, who is reviewing the files? I am reviewing your file, Faustine, my colleague, also, and Metap and Gulver. But the schools, each school, all the schools have their respective criteria. They have a common agreements, and they can. So you just have all the documents that I say, academic transcripts, diploma, etc. You are obliged to complete your application with all these documents, and I check if all the documents are conformed, and the schools will review your application in details with for example, HEC Paris as a criteria, as a score, as a precise score, minimum score, and Skema is another one. So they have their respective criteria. I will send you the FAQ conference related to the code for the GMAT. It's here on our website. For this kind of question, conference. I am checking the information. What code do I have to put on the GMAT? I think you can give the name of the schools. Just a minute. I'm asking to my colleague, Christine. Pour le GMAT, ils doivent mettre quoi comme code? C'est Metap, c'est ça? I have my colleague Metap. She's not here, but she's specialized in student questions, and I think she will be able to answer you regarding the question about the code for the GMAT. That's just you can also check this website. It's on our website. It's all the questions that you can have, and we have all the response about it. But I suggest you to send an email at Join a School in France to ask your question, and when Metap will be here, she answered you. So Join a School in France. This is the email address of the team. Do I get the right? Selected views. If you are eligible to take an interview, to do an interview, it means that at least one school is okay to select you. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you are eligible to the 5 schools. General culture, I think it's the jury members know that you are international students, and I think the general culture will be about international news. I'm trying to answer your question. The presentation is over, it's done, and so just the benefits is just to be part of an international community, but this is the role of alumni, because at the end of your master you will become an alumni. An alumni is a former student who represent the school, who try to expand an international network and the values of the school, and you will be this person after your master, and you will be graduated from in a French top ranked school, and you will have an access to the French culture. This is the benefits to join a master in France. And just to finish the presentation is that you have to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, because we are really active, and we can also ask all your questions, respond to all your questions on this social media. And we have WhatsApp. If you are active on WhatsApp, it's great, because we have a WhatsApp number. So I can give you the WhatsApp number. This is the what? Ouais, ouais, mais je peux pas faire de copier-coller. The WhatsApp number. This is. Thank you. 0772 20 60. This is the WhatsApp number. This is WhatsApp number. So do not hesitate to ask all your questions here. How are schools acting 25 different schools in the same time? Non, absolument pas. This is an agreement, so they agree. This is the principle of an agreement. The school have the same common base. They want an academic transcript. They want, and this is the international way to join a school in France. So with us, they have more international students, and they have diversified profile, and this is a really advantage. This is a big advantage for the school to have this international way, because this is not a competition, even if there is a strong competition between schools, but join a school in France is a way for HEC Paris, Skema, UM Lyon, Audencia, and ESCP Europe. This is a way to have more international students, thanks to us. But I just have to explain that if you just want to do HEC Paris or Skema, you can go to Skema directly. It's totally okay. But if you don't know, if you want to have the choice to have more chance to enter into a French school, you can do this process through Join a School in France. Okay, so do you have more questions? More question about the application? Do you provide us with some tips to have a strong file and be well prepared? Yes. A tip, an important tip that you can take into account is to really prepare in advance your application, because for example the written test or the English test it takes really it's a long time to prepare it, and you have to take into account that it takes time, and you don't have to do this at the end of the session, for example, because the last session of the year is and the deadline is April 19. It's really soon, and it's important to do your English test and your written test in advance. A strong file, if you, I think you know better what you want to do, and if you are not satisfied about your GMAT score, for example, you can do it again and again and again, and we will. Sometimes I have some application with 4 GMAT scores. Of course, I will take the better score. You can also try to prepare your interview because you know that it's on motivation, you know that it's on personal motivation. Sorry, it's about your motivation, it's about your personality, it's about your ability to do a master's in France, so you can prepare it really well. You know that the jury members are alumni, so you can exchange with them about this, about their experience as a former student. You can prepare your interview, and I don't know what can I say. You can also really check the news, the international news, and just be yourself, because all the alumni, all the jury members are really used to meet students, and they know perfectly the profile of the students, and just be yourself and be confident. So, so can we ask any questions through the WhatsApp number? Yes, of course. On WhatsApp, you can ask all your questions. It's exactly like an email, because my colleague is really active on WhatsApp, so she will be able to answer it. Do not hesitate. Got a question about internship? Do I need to speak French? Sometimes in France we ask for international students to do internship. For example, here at Joint School in France, we have an intern. She speaks only in English, and it's really good because we need to improve our English. We know, and English profile are really interesting in France. So I don't think you will be obliged to speak French, but it's better if you know some words. But it's not mandatory to do a training period in France. And for example, in bank, they always ask for or searching. They are searching for English profile. Must school ask for internship? I think it can be taken into account for the internship. I'm not sure, but you can ask your question on Join a School in France at cci paris-idf.fr. You can send us an email with this question, and we will ask for the answer. Of course, Cyrine. Cyrine Gilti. This is our job. This is my job. We have Metap and Gulver. They are specialized in candidates' questions, applications, and Faustine and I, we are specialized to organize your interview. So I am working with French institutions in around the world, and I organize all the interview in your country, even if you are only one. Even if I have only one candidate, I do my best to organize the interview. And I don't know, what is your country, Cyrine? I don't know if no, it's not by Skype. It's physically. In Tunisia, okay. I'm working with Institut Français de Tunisie in Tunis, and so there is no problem to do an interview at you will, if you are selected by the school by at least one school, you can do an interview. And when I say when I will know that you will be eligible, I will call Alliance Française, Institut Français de Tunis, and I will tell them that I have one candidate, and she or he has to do an interview, and I will send you an email with your official invitation to do an interview at a special time, etc. It's never by Skype, never. You have to go to the French institution in your country, in your city. So just wait a moment. Up. So the interview will be with alumni. So my job is to search alumni in your city. For example, alumni in Tunisia, alumni in Brazil, alumni in I don't know, in Spain, and have an international network of alumni, and I call them and I ask them to become jury members to do the interview and to recruit the students. That's it. So thank you a lot. We see this in Russia. We have Moscow, so I think it will be okay for you. But if it's not in Moscow, if we can see your city, we will do our best to organize it in your city. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. I have to go. I hope you enjoyed this webinar and that it answered your question. I tried to do my best to answer it. And when I don't know, you can ask your question on the email address. Okay, so do not hesitate to ask all your questions. And thank you so much for your attention. Thank you. Bye bye.